What's going on, everybody? South Carolina coming off a big win again last night, 50-10 over South Carolina State to improve to 3-2 on the year. And now they'll have some extra time before they head back into SEC play to play Kentucky next weekend. A couple things that really stood out to me about last night's game, though. South Carolina is doing a much better job of moving the ball around. They have so much talent. It feels like, whether it be on the message board, whether it be on social media, whether it be on the GC Live post-game show, we're talking Tuesday nights. One thing that has really stood out to me, the question that I get asked a lot by Gamecock fans, why isn't player X getting enough touches? Why aren't we seeing this player on the field a little bit more? I think there's multiple reasons why. We could really start to peel them back. But one thing that's really, I think the core of it is there's just so many talented guys on this team. And I think they're still trying to figure out how to get them the ball. Receiving wise, 11 different players had a reception on Thursday night. From a running back standpoint, 185 yards rushing on 31 carries, 5 different players had rushing touchdowns. They're doing a much better job. And while there's still some flaws with this offense, one thing that has really improved over the last couple of weeks, and I get it, some people are going to say, okay, it's because of the competition. So be it. At the end of the day, you got to play the teams who are on your schedule. And that's exactly what South Carolina has done, putting up 50 points back-to-back weeks, something that they haven't done since all the way back in 1995. After the game on the GC Live post-game show, I co-host the show with Michael Scarnecchia, former Gamecock quarterback. He pointed out some of the things he's noticed differently with the offense.
And not just for drop back passing. You know, a lot of people are thinking like our run game is going to open up all passing. And yes, theoretically it should. But what also is going to happen, and I think a lot of fans, and probably you too, Mike, saw it in the game, was because of how well we were running it against UNC Charlotte and how well we've been running it against, initially in the start of the game against SC State, play action. You see how it's working. These guys are jumping down. We're able to get deep shots. We're able to just get open opportunities on like the flats because people are starting to crunch in because they're worried about the run. When teams get worried about the run, play action is a great asset any team can have on the offense. And I think we saw Satterfield utilize that a lot, which is good. I think that's going to be one thing that it's going to help with the RPOs, which a lot of teams run. That's all pretty much Georgia ran against us. The RPOs are important, but if you can't run the ball, then teams aren't going to worry about the pass. Like they're not going to worry about the run. I mean, they're not going to start crunching down. They're not going to press, and they're not going to be worried about playing into the box. They're going to stay on their man, and the passes aren't going to be there on those types of plays. So I think as long as we can establish the run the way we've been doing these past 2 weeks, you're going to see play action. You're going to see RPOs. And those are the types of plays that help us drive down the field quickly and efficiently.
Now, in addition to that, one thing that you may notice is that Spencer Rattler will look over to the sideline occasionally before the snap. That was a question we had from one of the commenters on the post-game show. And Scar responded and gave a little bit of insight as to what's going on there.
The reason they look to the sideline, I'm assuming the fans talking about when we're lined up, we do a fake ball count, and then we look to the sideline. What that really is doing is, so a lot of the offenses, the last quarterback coach / offense coordinator that allowed QBs to change the plays with full autonomy was Spurrier. I haven't had a quarterback coach or an offensive coordinator allow that since. And I'm assuming that Satterfield probably doesn't allow that either. And so what they're doing is they're doing a fake count. Sometimes the plays that we have called aren't going to be good against the certain defensive coverage they have, and they're disguising it well. And so what you're doing is when you do the fake count, maybe you see a rotation, maybe you see something move in the defense. And so they're going to the sidelines. The coaches all recognize what's happening, and then they're changing the play to try and match what coverage they're getting or what blitz they're getting. And so you just want to get into a better play. That's what's happening.
Now, one thing South Carolina will have to do if they want to beat Kentucky next week is they have to be able to come out and play fast. This is something that they have really struggled with, especially against FBS opponents. They have been outscored in the Beamer era over 100 points by opponents in the first half, and it's even worse in the first quarter. When I asked Scar what he would like to see this team do early in this game next week, this is how he responded.
Now, obviously, you would hope the very first drive, and obviously first drives don't mean everything, but you would hope for the first drive that you typically know what you're going to get when you go out there on the first drive. You know what kind of coverages the defense is going to run, what kind of blitzes they're going to bring. Usually all that is dialed up the whole entire week. You know the first drive. So I think we should go out there, and I expect to see a good first drive. We need to somehow start having good first drives where we get down there and get points, especially against good teams. That would be fantastic if we could do that. The next thing is we need to stay on the field. We need to get ourselves into either third and short situations. We can't be in third and medium, third and long, because that's going to put our offense in a more likely chance to not succeed in getting the first down. And if we're not converting third downs, then you're not going to see early success because we're punting it, we're giving it to the other team. So you need to start seeing those first and second downs. And maybe that means dialing back first down shots until you know it's the right opportunity. So maybe we need to get a short and second down, short and third down, and then be able to convert third downs. Because if we're converting third and shorts, you're going to see early success. I mean, third downs and big shots are some of the most important things that you can have, but you're not going to be converting a lot of third downs from 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 10s.
Again, guys, this is from last night's GC Live post-game show, which you can watch in its entirety right now on the Gamecock Central YouTube page. And in addition to that, you can catch all the GC Live shows. We're talking GC Live Talking Tuesday nights. We're also talking about the GC Live post-game show. You can watch those shows live if you subscribe to our YouTube page, and you can catch every video that drops on Gamecock Central. For the latest on all your Gamecock news, keep it locked in to GamecockCentral.com. Until next time, I'm Mike Uva.